Did you know that the Thai Constellation, oh my, this is the perfect mix, are actually crawlers. Okay, let me explain. Okay, you see how close this node spacing is on both of these? They are designed to grow on the ground horizontally. Unlike the Borsigiana aurea that has larger nodal spacing, these are climbers. You see, they're climbers on moss poles. But that doesn't mean you can't put a Thai Constellation on a moss pole, because you definitely can, and they love it. So today we're doing both. Number one, we're gonna create a chunky soil mix. Thai Constellations are keen, very, very keen to getting root rot. So it is essential, a must to create a chunky soil mix. And side note, always repot when you buy new plants, because the growing conditions at the greenhouse which you purchased them from, or wherever you got them from, big box store, greenhouse, wherever you got them from, is different from the environment. So the median, right here, when I say median, this is the soil mix. It's essential to change this to a chunky soil mix, because different growing environments, our house, maybe you have a greenhouse at your house, you want to definitely create a new chunky soil mix. Because here's the reality, I really don't know what they use. But what I do know is my chunky soil mix works. So that's what we're going to do also. So the second thing we're going to do, this one in particular, we're going to make this a crawler. Yes, we're going to make it a crawler. This is a first time for me. Everything is a climber. Today we're making it a crawler. This is what I got. A rectangular pot. The reason why this is essential is that the plant can crawl all down here. I'm gonna plant it right here, and it has all of this opportunity to crawl. Second problem we have is this needs more drainage. So we're gonna take a drill, we're gonna drain a lot of these holes in here. And now for the second one, this one in particular, we're gonna be putting this on a cedar plank. Okay, let me explain. Do you see how glorious this large form Monstera is growing? Guess what it's on? A cedar plank. It is staked up, chunky soil mix. We're gonna be doing this exact same thing, but for our Thai Constellation. You see how great this looks? You see how great it's doing? You see how sized up the leaves are? This is exactly what we're gonna do. See, I have my cedar plank, boom, got this from Home Depot, and I have an extra pot that I have lying around. We're gonna do this, boom. Simple. All right, step one, let's make our chunky soil mix. Okay, here are our ingredients. Potting mix, orchid potting mix, perlite. Okay, this was open. Worm castings. This is a little bag, y'all. Horticultural charcoal for filtration. Mosquito bits. Who got time for bugs? Not me. Let's get a big container because we got a lot to mix. Step one, we're gonna start with our base, which is the potting mix. And this is a big batch, so that's why we're making a big batch of soil. And it's gonna be good to keep, you know, some soil on deck. Make this hole bigger. Okay. All right, now we're making moves. There we go. Next, perlite. Be sure you're wearing a mask with this. You definitely don't want to breathe in none of this. Definitely don't. Next up, orchid bark. You see here, just gonna dump all of this in here. All of it. Remember, we're making a chunky soil mix, big batch. Just think, the chunkier, the better. In all shapes and sizes. I'm talking about soil, y'all. I'm talking about soil. But maybe I'm not. Okay. I feel like I'm a chef in a kitchen making this bomb meal, but I am making a meal, technically. It's just for plants. Okay. Next up, worm castings. Now, we're not gonna need a lot of this. That's good enough. Next up, horticultural charcoal. This is for filtration. We don't have time for fungus or diseases. And last but not least, we're gonna mix in a little bit of mosquito bits because who has time for bugs and pests? Not us. Now it is time to mix. But this looks bomb right here. Like what? What? Orchid bark, horticultural charcoal, mosquito bits, worm castings, perlite, and potting mix. This is the perfect mix for chunky soil mix, y'all. I just want to get y'all up close and personal. Get you a 2x4. This is my mixer of choice, but you can use whatever you want. You can use your hands. You can use whatever. But now it's time to mix this all up. We're gonna mix it up. Make sure everything is Here's another option. I'm about to put the top on this and shake it up like it's like a salt shaker. There are life hacks for everything. Grab your bin and shake. Ah! Yelling is optional. Yelling is optional. Ah! Shake it up. Shake it up. Ah! Now we're done. Are you ready for the reveal of the shaking up? Ooh, perfect mix, y'all. I told y'all this was a life hack. All right, perfect. Step 2, unpot both of these, but we're gonna start with the one we're gonna make a crawl, which is this one. Now, with our pot that we purchased, this is a rectangular pot. This is actually 26 inches long, I know. Is that long? We have to add more drainage. As you see, the drainage is not the best, and the key is we want to have a well-draining pot. So here's a simple solution. Grab a drill, and we're gonna drill holes, but I'm not gonna do it holding it because that's just not safe. I'm gonna put this on the ground, and I'm literally gonna drill holes all in here. I just want this to be completely well-draining, so I'm gonna drill holes all throughout here. Okay, the holes have been drilled, and the reason why you want to have a well-draining pot is because the Monsteras, Thai Constellations are very prone to root rot, so you don't want to give any opportunity for water to sit in the pot. So that's why well-draining pots are key. Sometimes, orchid pots work, but in this case, we have to customize our own, and it's definitely possible because this is perfect. Yeah, I know the holes are a little crazy, but there's like literally zero chance of water sitting in here because this is gonna be in here for a while. Now it's time for repot number 1. Put down my little repot mat. Got this off of Amazon. And let me grab our first Thai Constellation. Remember, this is the one we're gonna make crawl. Okay, the reason why we're gonna repot this is because number 1, we don't know what medium the greenhouse used. Number 2, we wanna make sure it's chunky soil mix because their conditions on growing this is different from my house. So that's why we're using our chunky soil mix. That's why we drilled a lot of holes in our pot because we do not want to get root rot because this particular plant is root rot prone. All right, let's squeeze this and let's do a root reveal. Let's see what these roots are looking like. Okay, it's a little stubborn. That means it might be root bound. Okay, let's see. Ooh, see? Root bound, look at this. You see when they start doing twirls under? This was due for a repot. Let's literally get all of this out. And I'm honestly just using my hands and just kind of poking the soil to get it all out because we got our own mix, remember? And we don't have time for what they use. Even though it worked, our growing conditions are different. So let me get this all out. And you see this has a nice, great root system that we preserved. I got majority of the dirt off, and if something's still on there, it's not a problem. But your plant's gonna go into shock, but that's okay. But we got majority of the dirt off. Now it's time to position it in our rectangular pot to have it crawl. So here's the positioning. We're gonna have this literally to start right here, okay? So you see all this opportunity, it has to grow, right? This has to grow all of this. So we're gonna position it right here. That's a good position. And all this opportunity. Now it's time to get our custom chunky soil mix that we made and start the filling process. So literally gonna take here, take this all the way here. We're gonna do this process the whole time to start this going. So now I backfilled and I kind of position how I want it to be. Like, you know, position it how you want it to be. And I think this looks great with a lot of opportunity to grow. And the roots are settled in. They have a lot of opportunity to grow also. So I think this is good. Now I'm gonna backfill it. And I'm gonna use my hands. Yep, I'm using my hands. Straight hand to soil. Nothing wrong with that, right? No judgment here. Sometimes using your hands is 10 times easier. And you see that area root is now covered, which is a great thing. It's signaling to the plant, oh, we got space to grow. We got space to grow. Look at this. Boom. Boom. It's letting the plant know, oh yeah, it's time to get busy. It is time to get busy. See right here? Now the arrowroot is in the soil. It has ample opportunity to grow all of this. And I bring you, oh my gosh, we have a perfect crawling pot for my first Monstera Thai Constellation. Look at this. We got so much area to grow. Like, oh my goodness. Imagine how big these leaves are gonna get. All right, first one is done. You're up next, buddy. Step one, let's drill some holes and stake this up. All you need are drills and some zip ties. So I measured with the drill, and now I'm making drill holes right here. So I drilled the holes, and I have the holes in the pot. All we're gonna do, line them up with the holes and feed a zip tie through. So I'm gonna feed it through this way. Right? To the hole, loop it back into the stake, bring it through here. Find it, boom. You see like that? Now I'm gonna get another zip tie. Take this zip tie right here. Secure that. Take this one right here. Secure that. And now, let's make it tight. Boom, bingo. And don't worry that it's not stable yet. When the plant is in here, it's gonna be stable as hell. Now you know what's next. It is repotting time. So remember the same steps. We're gonna take this out this pot, release all the soil, add our own soil, stake it up, boom! Okay, let's get this party started. We're gonna squeeze. And that other one was root bound, so I'm sure this one's gonna be root bound also. But you never know. It's kind of like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, you know what I'm saying? plant version. Squeeze. Okay. Somewhat rebound, somewhat, you know. Now we must get all this excess dirt off and add our own chunky soil mix. Okay, we got as much dirt off as we can. Nice root system. Now it's time to put it in the pot and backfill. So, as you see, our pot is empty. Let's backfill a little bit. Yes, we're gonna handball it, hand dirt it. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit more. That's good. Now we're going to, you see, this is perfect right here. This is the goal. The key is we want to tape it to the pole to kind of start signaling, hey, you have a cedar plank and you can start growing up the cedar plank. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna position it right now, but I'm gonna adjust it. So right now, this is just a positioning tape. Uh-oh. It has a nice depth in there. So right now, this is just the positioning tape. We're gonna retape. Okay, trying to see how great this looks. It's looking pretty great, I must say. I must say so myself, it's looking pretty great. Now I'm gonna backfill and adjust. Backfill and adjust. Sounds like a song. Backfill and adjust. Custom chunky soil mix to our pot. Now this pot already has well-draining holes in it, so that's why it wasn't needed to add it. But we're gonna make some adjustments, but I wanna start backfilling to give some stability and also our almost final look, not our final look, our almost final look. And we're looking amazing, I must say. I must say. Make sure it's centered. It is centered. Now I can adjust the one I did horribly. Boom. Uh-oh. Let's give you guys a back view. Boom. Right here. Make a tear. And we're looking amazing, y'all. We are looking amazing. We are looking amazing. Now we check, and now we're gonna add some more soil because we're looking good. See how we tap, fill, tap, fill. And that is it, y'all. We have a staked up Thai Constellation to grow up this cedar plank. And we have a crawling Thai Constellation to crawl. So you have both options, y'all. Here or here. Which one, you guys, in the comments below do you think is gonna do a lot better? Okay, that concludes this video. I appreciate you guys for sticking to the end. Now I have a question for you guys in the comments below. Which one do you think is gonna do the best? Which one do you think is gonna get the massive Thai Constellation leads? I'm curious to know. And if you guys like this content, I drop other videos with other great content. Listen, I have a whole jungle we're working on, so I appreciate the love on there. And look, until next time, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your auntie, tell your uncle about my page. My name is Jason. I love y'all. See y'all soon. All right, peace.